Hello, this video is that I think every single weightlifting machine should be hooked up to the internet. And therefore all weightlifting machines will be hooked up to the internet one day. Probably not in my lifetime, but maybe. It shouldn't be that expensive. Because what you do is you show up to the machine, you put your thumbprint in, which identifies who you are, and then you lift. And as you lift, there are these cameras that come down and they film you lift, filming how much weight you're lifting as the weight goes up and down. So there's lots of little cameras. One goes to the weight to show all the weight, and when it goes down to the bottom to get a clear view of the weight. And then even when you move the thing, you know, it gets everything. Doesn't miss the weight at all. Or it just it reports the weight and the reps, because it has sensors that detect when the weight goes all the way up and when the weight goes all the way down. So it shows you lifting, and it shows your whole body, you know, your physique, because in the future at the gym they won't make you wear shirts, so you'll get to work out with your shirt off. So they'll see you flexing and your whole body, and then when you're done it tallies up the weight. So then it automatically gets uploaded to your website and to the database of that machine, of that company that makes the machine. So that if you want to know how much Jimmy Johnson, you know, like the guy you met over at the store yesterday, and you happen to know his last name, you know how much he lifts. So you just type his name in the database and then you can watch him lift. So then if somebody's like, you know, like, I'm stronger than you, I can beat you at low row machine Nautilus, and you're like, what? Well, let's see right now. And then you whip out your cell phone and you go, no, it says here that you only did drop set from 130 pounds down to 20, and it took you 5 minutes. I did it from the same weight, but it took me 4 minutes 30. And the guy'd be like, oh man, fuck, I thought I was. So it makes the world transparent, and it also motivates you and entertains you. Biggest part of being fit and getting exercise is the mental aspect of it. You want it to be enjoyable, and if stuff's enjoyable and you're motivated, then you know you're gonna do more. That's more important than like technique, or you know, how many reps and sets or whatever. It should all be what's gonna motivate you to get in there and do it. So and that's one thing that could do it. You could, and it's good science too, to find out, you know, who's strong based on what they look like and all that kind of stuff. You can plug the data in and have the data come up with, invent all these crazy you know, computer programs and stuff that'll figure out all kinds of data about comparing ages and sexes and races, and then comparing it with the kind of job you have, like this job it does better at this exercise and all that kind of stuff. So all the you know, weightlifting machines, rowing machines, treadmills, indoor bike machines, all the exercise machines should be hooked up to the internet with cameras.